Episode 18.
It's daylight today as well.
It's daylight.
How exciting.
We're doing it in the morning.
In the morning. Wow, got a cup of tea.
morning, not the
end
1
of the
o'clock in the morning.
And we've had pancakes, we've had a cup of tea, everything's good.
Right, what's coming up?
So we've got 10 seconds name, so I love watching you squirm.
Don't do this to me.
Then pepper, then KPs, and then we've got an email and the lettersforcheckon@hotmail.com.
All right, let's get on with it.
Right, 10 seconds. Things to name.
My blood pressure's going up. My mind just empties every time. I order this stuff all the time, and yet I just go blank on this.
Right, let's go pastry specific then, as you've been on pastry recently. Let's, break it down to something that you'll know.
I'm not a pastry chef, though. I go in there and I blag it.
You know what products are?
Go on then.
Let me just set the timer. Timer, 10 seconds. Right. 10 seconds to name berries. Go.
Berries, blueberries, blackberries, Logan berries, raspberries, strawberries. Did I say? Cherry.
You're out of time.
I couldn't remember if I'd said, what was it? Yeah, not blackberries. I was thinking of the other ones.
Gooseberries?
No.
Blackcurrants?
Blackcurrants, that was it. Yeah.
Blackcurrants, not berries.
Is there a...
Strawberries aren't technically
Currants.
berries, but let's not get into the technicalities.
All right, what makes a berry?
I can't even remember. It's all the seeds.
Oh, here we go. So I'm just wrong.
No, it's whether the seeds are on the inside or the outside.
I didn't just get two.
Ask James Brom, he'll tell you all about it. He's bored me before about strawberries aren't technically berries because the seeds are on the outside, therefore they're not technically a berry. But a pineapple is a berry or something ridiculous like that. Ask James, he'll tell you all about it. You got 5 though, that's better.
Oh no, I did all right. That was an incredibly easier one though for me. I mean, everybody else probably got.
You only 20. Got 2 cheeses, to be fair. I think cheese is easier than berries.
Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, all right. Okay, so your one, really quick, right. 10 seconds. Don't worry, I've got the clock in my head.
Of course.
You don't need to set your timer.
All right.
So you got 10 seconds ish to name me as many types of turnip. Go.
Yellow ball, white, Swede. I think that's all I can tell you. Really.
Right, you're out of time.
There's a Japanese one.
You've got 2. That's really unfortunate. And I got 5.
3, actually.
Right, let's move.
Start a pepper as a starter.
Pepper?
Yeah.
You and I have bickered about this before.
Good.
Because I love pepper, especially in mash. And you're, let's just say, pretty angry when you see it go, why have you put pepper in there?
Only because people put pepper in things to make it taste of something. Because they haven't done a good enough job in the first place. It's the only reason people use pepper.
You're thinking that they're adding a flavour.
They are. It makes a taste of pepper.
Didn't you ever put pepper? What? Like what? You don't like white pepper in mash?
It's all right.
It's all right.
I don't mind. It's okay. But that's one of the only places I wouldn't mind white pepper and mash. All right, fine. But your traditional black pepper on everything, I don't like it.
I lamper it on there. I love it.
But it just makes everything taste of pepper. And then you can't taste the food that you're eating. And you haven't, therefore, spent enough time cooking the thing nicely enough or seasoning it properly or doing it. If you take some boiled carrots that taste of absolutely nothing because it's just a crap mass-produced carrot and you've boiled the hell out of it, and then you lag it in pepper and go, oh, this is a nice carrot. Well, it's not. It's just covered in pepper, isn't it? Whereas if you get a nice organic's another whole word. We'll come on to that another day. But if you get a nice carrot that's actually got some flavour and you've roasted it or you've cooked it nicely, you haven't just boiled the living bejesus out of it, then it'll taste of carrot. You don't need to add pepper to that because it'll taste of carrot.
When you say boil the bejesus out of it, you're thinking about that orange foam that you tend to get on the top of the water when you've been boiling it too long.
But was it the French Laundry Cookbook, which was one of the first cookbooks I ever had? There's a bit in that where he's talking about soups and purees and stuff, and he said that the main aim of the soup or the puree is to make the finished product taste more of the original product than it does on its own. So carrot, for example, if you made a carrot soup, you want it to taste more strongly of carrot than a carrot would. So you want to sort of concentrate the carrot flavour. So I don't know if you were at Buster's when we used to do a carrot and coriander soup, but we'd roast the carrots to the point they were borderline black, they're starting to catch. Then we juice a load of carrots. And we put the very well-cooked carrots into the carrot juice and vat pack it. Then we cook it in a water bath for an hour or so. Then we take it out and blitz it. And so the amount of carrots, like it had more carrots in it than you came out with because of all the loss and stuff you had. But you had this really intense carrot flavour. It used to stain the tubs. You put it in tubs and it was like
there was
orange
tubs, yeah.
But then people were like, oh my God, you give them that soup. Oh, it's so tasty. And it's like, but it's because people are so used to just eating crap that's just been covered in pepper. Like you go to most restaurants and you order the carrot soup. It's going to have about 3 carrots in it for a 4-litre batch, and then a load of Knorr veg bouillon, a handful of pepper, mix it up, look like dishwater, job's good.
Yeah, the bouillon, it just tends to make it taste the bouillon, really, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it does that standard flavour.
Yeah, stuff, salt. But
salt is the classic way of getting more flavour out of something, though.
Yeah, but that's different. That's why I don't mind salt, because it's salt. It brings the flavour out. So, like, if you added salt to the carrot soup example, it's going to make it taste nicer, but it's not going to taste of a different flavour. It's still going to taste of carrot.
Yeah,
it's just going to be a bit salty on the palate, or saltier on the palate. Whereas pepper is instantly going to taste of carrot and pepper.
Well, people could try this at home, I suppose. I mean, if you think about it, if you obviously don't have most people won't have a water bath or a vac pack machine at home, but I suppose you could peel your carrots, cut them in half lengthways down, and roast them, juice a load of carrot, and then simmer them together in a pan.
You could.
Slowly, and then try that enhanced carrot flavour at home.
But if you roast anything, like if you roast a carrot rather than boil the carrot, it tastes better, doesn't it? Because, like, yeah, all right, it's got fat in it, whatever, but it's when you cook something, especially your vegetables, which are full of water, you're removing moisture. So as you remove moisture doesn't taste so much, it's just water that comes out. You get a more concentrated flavour. When you reduce the stock, you're reducing it down to take out the water to reduce it, so it's a stronger flavour.
That's what I tried to explain to people before. Why do you boil the hell out of these stocks and all that to bring them right down? I was like, well, think about it this way. If you've got cordial or a squash, if you only had half the amount of water, because obviously when you boil it, the water's going to go, but the essence of what it is remains. If you made a cordial with only half the amount of water, it's going to be stronger.
Yeah,
the flavour's going to be stronger. That's why we do it.
Yeah, and so that you don't need to add pepper to stuff if you've cooked it out fully, and sweating things off and cooking things longer. I think when Lou asked a few weeks ago about top tips and stuff for cooking, but like sweating things out and cooking things out for longer is where you get the flavour. And if you just chuck it in water and just boil it and you overcook it, and then it's just this wet vegetable or whatever it is, not necessarily just veg, but like chicken, for example, if you roast a chicken, it tastes better than if you just chuck a chicken breast in a pan of water and boil it, because the moisture's escaping it, therefore you're concentrating the flavour.
Unless it's a green veg in a soup, because you know where I'm going with this, what happened recently. Unless it's a green veg, in which case it's right in there, and you blast cook it and you quickly blitz it and cool it. Don't boil it out for ages and lose that green. Unless you do that, and then you happen to be one person we've seen this week who randomly used green food colouring to bring his veg soup back. I've never seen anything like it. It looked like what was in The Simpsons when he's picking up that green radioactive rock. And it's just like, it was the most luminous green I've ever seen in my life. We'll get that up on the social medias. Yeah, that that was horrendous.
But even greens, you don't need to boil greens. Like, depending on what the green is, obviously, if it's a leaf, spinach or something like that, just chuck it in a pan with a little bit of butter and then put like a little splash of water in it, which will start steaming. But then once it starts breaking down and cooking, the moisture comes out anyway. But, did a wedding yesterday. They had a broccoli salad on it. That broccoli never sees water. We cut it down to florets, pan fry it off to get a bit of colour on it, and then, depending on if it needs it or not, sort of 2 minutes in the oven just to finish it off. But then you just get a concentrated broccoli flavour rather than if you just boil broccoli and then it's just watery and a bit meh.
Yeah.
I mean, things like beans, to be fair, I'd boil beans because they're nice to boil, but then we're going a bit off onto random sort of cookery techniques now, but just pepper is just a lazy man's tool to just, like some things, like if you made a peppercorn sauce, put pepper in it, fine. It's supposed to taste of pepper, that's the whole point.
But when you do it, think about all the types of peppercorns you get. I get them all in there because I love pink peppercorns with everything.
I love pink peppercorns, but that's a different. But then put pepper in something which is supposed to have pepper in it, and it's a peppered. Like the flavour of that dish is pepper.
Or on the outside of a steak. How do you feel about that? Because I know hang on a minute, that's not a bad shout because you do really like a nice steak.
Yep.
But if you're going to lag a load of pepper on it before you grill it.
Don't bother. Put salt on it.
All right,
It tastes more of beef.
Don't get any pepper on the outside of the steak.
Depends. If you've got a crap steak, it's not going to taste very much, then put some pepper on it because it's going to taste a bit better. But if you've got a really well-hung, beautiful piece of steak, a bit of salt, job's good.
All right, chuck your pepper in the
It
bin.
would taste more of beef and less of pepper.
All right.
CheckON.
Mains.
KPs. You want to talk about KPs?
KPs.
Yep.
I love a KP, a good one.
They're hard to find.
I don't like the crazy ones. Actually, I do like.
It's a thin line. It's a very thin line.
I like some of the quirkier ones, especially when they get angry. But as long as they're getting angry and working hard, that's fine. You know, when you start getting screamed at because you've brought the pans through too late. And if the KP's been doing my head in, I would have built up a lot of pans in my section and then take them over at the end. You know, you're going to be nice to me. I'm gonna swamp you at the end. There are a few. And I miss Simon.
I miss Simon
a lot. He was a really grouchy one. He was,
but good with it.
But he would have like funny. He'd be angry for ages and doing everyone's head in, but then he would do something really just to make you laugh. You know, I remember when we were near him, and then James, the chef, was behind me, and he called me the "See you next Tuesday" name, but in a playful way. And then Simon would just come around and goes, "Oh, I didn't even know he knew your name," and you would just burst out laughing. So he was a funny one. Or they knew you'd have Jan.
Yeah,
does he listen to the show?
Doubt it.
That's why I don't have to censor that.
You can send him a link though if you want.
And he was just waiting to die every day. He was like, "Oh, I'm not dead yet," which is a shame. You know, he just wanted to die every day.
I don't know if he did or whether it was just a sense of humour, but your point was that just trying to find good KPs is nigh impossible nowadays because, and I mean, actually we were discussing about travelling to foreign lands and things, and then we've sidetracked. Now we're on KPs, which is why we decided to do KPs as the main because you're going off. After today, you're going on
tomorrow. I'm going
2-week adventure around Europe.
Yeah,
and I'll probably get blasted as a racist for saying it, but the Eastern European guys who used to be a stalwart of British KP kitchens were just so good. Like, do you know what I mean? They're hard work, and they turned up. It's like, yep, it's a job. I'm getting paid. Happy days. Crack on. Do it. Brilliant. Like we don't have many of those people with that work mentality in this country. So they're
the early 2000s.
Yeah,
it started.
Yeah, and you think even. First sort of 15 years of my career, most of the KPs I worked with, all the good ones, were Polish, Slovakian, Romanian. You know, they were Eastern European guys who came over. They were like, "Yep, cool, got a job, bang on."
They worked hard,
worked hard, and did a good job of it. And I think when I first started in kitchens, you know, you probably had some uni students. In fact, we did when I worked at the Nair. I remember the summer holidays, like the main team of KPs that worked in the Nair kitchen back in 2001 were all the British uni students came back and did it in the summertime because it was just an easy job. It was a bit of a laugh and they do it. But yeah, like Szymon Okriak, he was the first Polish KP I've worked with, and he came over and he would work for 2-3 months in the summertime and that would fund his whole university. And he was like, "This is amazing. I'd come here, work, did a good job, worked hard, introduced me to some cool bands and stuff and different culture and all that stuff, which was really cool and interesting." And then he went back and he's like, "I can live like a king for the next 9 months and I've got it pretty set up at uni. Life's good. You know, 3 months of work in here pays for all my bills for the year over there and it's all good." But yeah, we don't have that so much anymore because I suppose Brexit, there's not people coming over from that area. And then you've got people that are all moaning there's no jobs and whatever, but then nobody wants to be a KP. But it's not even a hard job and people make it hard. It's mind-numbing, I'll give it that. But if you're good at it, like, nobody minds if you slack off. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I've worked with KP, Jan's your perfect example. You were just talking about Jan. Like, numerous times you'd catch Jan just on his phone. But it's like, I don't care if you've done everything.
Yeah.
Fine, carry on. Because there's other people who will be doing they'll spend the whole day, have done half the amount of work you have, and then be like, "Oh, I need to go for a fag." Well, hold on, do some work first.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, they're a dying breed, aren't they?
But I did want to get a couple of stories out though.
Yeah,
because there were some funny ones that were there. I mean, I do love that stockpot one, and I know I've said it quite often, but it's just so funny when just to see Ben's face rage in sheer anger when he asked for the stock to be past the stock, so you can remove all the bones and the veg and everything in there and keep the juice, and then the KP drained the stock and then threw the stock away and gave him the bones. He went ballistic, absolutely ballistic.
Do you remember John Hutchinson that worked at the Nair? He's probably passed now, but you remember old John from Bridlington, Northern John.
Oh,
anyway,
what was his catchphrases?
I don't know.
No.
Oh
no!
It was just a classic Northern warning. But he, the chef, put the stock pot on the back sink, and he said, it had quite a lot of bones and stuff on it. And he said, "John, can you have this in the bin, please?" He said, "Just tip it straight in the bin, it'll be fine. Don't worry about a bag." All right, no worries. So he took the whole stock pot and threw the whole stock pot in the bin. And then the next morning, someone was looking for the stock pot, and it was like conversation. Johnson, "Yeah, I put it in the bin yesterday. Tom put it in the bin." He goes, "Well, not the pan." And, he goes, yeah. And then they went down, perfect timing, because it was just as the bin men were there.
Oh, no.
And they could just see the bin coming down, crushing the pan. Just goes, "Hello!" He goes, "You told me to put it in the bin." He's like, "Well, obviously not the pan." He said, "We didn't say that." It's like, fair enough. Like having a 3-year-old like Isla at home, like,
yeah,
she's got a great workaround for anything you say, and you can't be mad at her because you're like, well, with that situation, you did tell me to chuck it in the bin, don't worry about putting it in a bag. It's like,
yeah.
Well, obviously I didn't mean the 200 quid saucepan. We didn't say that, you just said chuck it in the bin, don't worry about a bag.
Right when the bin men were there.
Well, he threw it away the night before, and then, yeah, they just happened to be tipping the bin up. So it was on, the bin was up, it was tipped in the back of the lorry, and just as it was crushing it, was like, there, oh, it's gone. Oh. But, yeah, when we had Snake Hips KP in for us, because, hours were tight and restaurant wasn't that busy and all the rest of it, and so we said, all right, rather than you do a split shift, we'll have you come in the afternoon and KP through the afternoon while we go on our split. I used to moan like hell. He'd come in every day like it was a surprise. You're like, all right, what's going to happen is you'll walk in at 2 o'clock, I think it was. You'll come in at 2, there'll be lots of dishes to do. But then between 2 and 5, there won't be anything here because we'll all be on a break, so you've got 3 hours to clear it. And he'd come in every single day at 2 o'clock. Oh, look at the step. Up in arms. Can't believe it. Look at this crap. You should have told me to come in earlier. It's like, there's lots there now.
But there won't be 3 hours to get rid of it.
Don't worry about it. But, yeah. We'll get on to kitchen injuries another day, but I had the KP that worked for me who ended up with his foot amputated after standing in a fryer after trying to change some extraction filters. And in that same job, there was another KP there called Mohammed, and this was another day they were cleaning the extraction filters. And he was taking them down, and we had a big char grill. Char grill had been off for an hour or two, but it was still hot. So he put these, I don't know, like the wire mesh, chicken wire looking filters. It was those style. And he had about 4 or 5 of them stacked on top of each other on top of the char grill. And I came in the kitchen and he was like, bello, look, very nice, very nice. And the extraction was on above it. So it had like this nice, like twister, whatever you call it, like a cyclone thing that was spiraling upwards from these fans. It was like this nice colourful smoke that was coming up in like a tornado style up into the thing.
Right.
I was like, well, why have you put one there? It's clearly bloody hot. That's why it's doing that. And then within 30 seconds of me saying that, poof, the thing went up in flames.
Oh my God.
That's the only time I've ever had to use a fire extinguisher in a kitchen. Went and grabbed the foam extinguisher. God, I made such a mess. But, I mean, it sorted it out. But chaos everywhere, mess everywhere. I was like, why did you do that? He's like, oh, well, it's off. He said, I could touch the thing with my hand. It wasn't that hot. It's like, well, no, it wasn't that hot, but it's hot enough to get grease hot to set fire to. KPs. And he was a funny one. That we bought a digital radio because it was like back in the day when digital radio was a new thing, and there was a test station which had birds on it, and it just made like birdie tweeting sounds. And when you'd come in the morning, you'd quite often find Mohammed standing, looking pretty much at a wall because the speaker was on a shelf, and he'd be stood right at the shelf, staring at the speaker, staring at the wall, listening to bird noises. And then you'd see him catch your attention, he'd turn around and look at you with this sort of slight crazed look in his eyes. Hello, the birds. You're like, okay.
All right.
Okay. No, you're setting fire to the extraction filters. But, nice guy.
Yeah.
But
We'll have to do a KP part 2.
we can guess KP's on the line.
KP is online. That's not a bad shout.
Yeah. Miguel.
Miguel.
Ray.
Oh, I miss Miguel.
I'm trying to think who. Well, we had Tank because we put Tank in for the. There was a KP of the year. Some business entrepreneur from Cornwall decided to set up a KP of the year thing, and then you sort of like a World Cup of KPs for Cornwall. And we did put Tank in for that, but he didn't win it. He got quite far there. I think he got to like the semi-finals or something.
What did they do? Make you wash?
I don't know. You had to just write bloody descriptions and things about it. It wasn't much about the KP. It wasn't like put them on a shift and see who did it, which would have been more fun, to be honest.
Yeah.
Should have put them on a Raw Cornwall show, main tent, here's 1,000 covers, who can get through the dishes quickest. That would have been quite good fun. But, I mean, I do miss Tank. Well, everybody else tells me that Tank was slack and he just used to get away with it.
Tank was slack. And you're
He'd butter me up, so.
You're a soft touch. They know how to manipulate you.
He was always good. He was always, whenever you needed anything, he always made me a cup of tea. So, I mean, that's half the job done, and let's face it.
And he wasn't on his phone all the time. He was just generally slack.
I don't know who my favourite ever KP is. I'll have to have a think. We'll get some on the line and we'll see if we can exploit someone's... It's a mindset, isn't it? And I suppose any job's different. If you're a chef, it's a very different mentality to sitting on your ass in an office, because I cannot imagine what it would be like to be sat in an office all day.
I couldn't do it. I just could not do that.
I did a wedding yesterday and I was chatting to the mother of the groom. She goes, "Oh, you must be starving," or this or that. And what time did you start this morning? I said, "I've done about 13 hours, but it's fine. It's not been a hard day." And she goes, "Oh, I couldn't bear doing the 13-hour shift. I'd be on my knees." I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't know what you do for a living, and I don't want to really get into it, but I'd probably be bored sickly as well after 13 hours of whatever you do, but actually cooking food and loading a van and going somewhere, doing a wedding and chatting to people." And they gave me a nice Japanese rice lager to drink while I was cooking. So
Very nice.
Very nice.
Yeah, if I've been in front of the computer doing admin work for about 2 hours, I think I've had enough then. I can see why you see those videos online of those Chinese kids smashing the hell out of the computers. It's just, I couldn't do it. Imagine 9 hours in front of a screen. But, oh, God.
But people say that KP is really
It's a
hard.
school shooting when you need one.
People say, your brain turns off because it's KP and it's so boring. But it's like, I don't mind it.
I actually quite
I
like
can
it.
quite happily just, you look, it's very straightforward. You look and go, that's dirty, it needs to be clean. Cool.
I just go off into my own little world if I just start thinking about stuff.
Nobody's going to bother you, are they?
No.
Well, only if you shit.
And if you work even modestly or moderately good, everybody thinks you're a hero.
Yeah.
Because they're not used to it.
So used to the standard being so low.
I remember AD coming along and I'd cleared all this stuff at the front and the plate wash. And I think I'd done it obviously very quickly, but I wasn't working very quickly. I was just doing everything in sections. So all the plates in one go, all of the sauces in one go and all that kind of stuff. So it was easy, quick to put away. So he came over, he's, "Oh my God, you're so good. Oh, thanks, mate. Oh, I can't believe how fast you've done it." I'm like, I haven't really done anything.
All I've done is stacked it properly. As soon as you stack it properly,
I haven't mixed every tray, so I've got to spend 10 minutes putting each tray away. I just do one of everything.
Yeah. Well, maybe you could be a KP in a later life.
I'm going to do that. That'll be my retirement.
Yeah, I've always had to be a breakfast chef when I retire, but I think I'll probably get bored with the early mornings eventually.
You get bored of that.
Yeah, because breakfast chefs are a whole different ball game altogether again.
Oh, that's a mental case one, that is, isn't it? Very angry breakfast chefs.
Yeah, they're just they're just a strange bunch, aren't they? But I think a lot of breakfast chefs, to be fair, come from KP because it's like it's nice, set work routine. It's quite straightforward. You don't need to be Gordon Ramsay. You can just turn up, cook breakfast.
I think it's the social life, though, isn't it? Because you leave either during lunch or after lunch.
Yeah.
You're off for the rest of the day.
Time. That's why I've always said it'd be a good thing for like the kids when they get a bit older. If I'm doing, to be fair, with the way Rad's going, I've probably got enough work going on with just doing that. But if I decided in the future I just want an easy life, something like a breakfast chef would be ideal because you can just.
I think the breakfast shift is for better work-life balance. It's better for your family life. I think that's why people do it.
Yeah, you have to do the early mornings and stuff, but you get the balance of you still get to be in a kitchen, you still get to enjoy kitchen life, But,
I quite like doing the breakfast.
get evenings off, and most breakfast chefs generally have a day off at the weekend as well, don't they? Because
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. You just need to eat breakfast.
Same thing through. I do quite like it. But yeah, a lot of breakfast chefs I know they got a temper beneath the skin.
Yeah, I don't know why that is.
Yeah, real temper.
Maybe it's the thing. Who knows? Anyway, that's that. And now, first time in ages, we've actually got an email.
A dessert?
A dessert. So I'll read it out and you can give me your feedback. The subject is The Lobster That Wouldn't Die. Hi, Darren and Scott. Loving the podcast. Honestly feels like I'm back in the kitchen with the lads again, dodging hot pans and dodgy banter. Keep it going. I've got a story for you that still makes me chuckle and is 100% true. I swear on my whites. So this was back when I was junior sous at a fancy...
So cheesy.
Back when I was junior sous at a fancy coastal restaurant in Devon. You know the type. Everything locally sourced, linen aprons, and guests who think a little seasoning is aggressive. Anyway, we had this posh wedding on, and lobster was the main for the top table, so I got handed the job of prepping the lobster that morning, live, fresh, and feisty. Now, I've done this before, quick, clean, and respectful, but this one big boy clearly hadn't read the script. I go to dispatch him, usual technique, and the little sod flinches. I swear to God he flinched. I hesitate. He makes a break for it. Next thing I know, the lobster is on the floor and on the move. Legs going like he's late for a management meeting. Cue absolute chaos. I'm trying to catch it while avoiding stepping on it or stabbing myself, and someone shouts, "Lobster down!" like we're in some kind of Michelin-rated war zone. My head chef storms in thinking someone's lost a finger, sees me rugby tackling this bloody lobster near the walk-in, turns around and leaves without a word. Anyway, I finally catch it, get the job done, properly this time, and carry on with service. Thought that was the end of it until the evening when the bride's mum comes into the kitchen to thank the chefs and says, "You know, I swear one of the lobsters winked at me before they served it. I nearly dropped the creme brulee I was plating." Moral of the story, never underestimate a lobster with a will to live. Keep doing what you're doing. It's proper therapy hearing you pair chatting kitchen truths. Cheers, Dave Two Pans Willis, currently hiding from shellfish.
Oh. I think he's doing too many hours. Either that or he's sauced up.
I don't know anybody that works as a junior sous and thing. I don't know who that is. Chasing a lobster around the kitchen floor.
We can't keep saying these lobster things. People get very sensitive about that kind of stuff.
It's not my fault. Somebody sends an email, I'm just going to be out. I like chasing it whilst not standing on it or stabbing myself in the leg. You can picture the scene there. Jeff walks in.
What are you doing?
Can't leave him to it. That's only the second time I've had lobster on the floor. I don't, and the other one was
the fish?
The stock take. Yeah, that wasn't my fault. That was Terry the night porter's fault for making me drink all night.
Rest in peace, Terry.
Is he dead? Is he?
Yeah, you didn't know.
Did I? I can't remember. I think I might have.
Died years and years ago.
Last week, then, was it?
Sometime.
Well, thanks for the story, Dave Two Pans Willis.
2 pounds. I like that one. Was it called 2 pounds?
I don't know. Good.
Right.
Well, I think that's all we got for that. And so, well, the exciting news, obviously, is you're going off on holiday.
Yeah, 2 weeks travelling across Europe.
Yep. So then when you get back, well, make sure you're back on time because you've got a wedding for me on the 17th.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so we're not going to do a podcast now for 2 weeks.
No, we can't.
No, because I'll be.
Well, you and I have been working 7 days a week.
Yeah. We planned on bulk. We just haven't.
We planned on doing a bulk 3 or 4 episodes. I'll edit them and then we'll just post them up as each week goes by. Only problem is that we both been like bent over in this unit, just like, oh God, I'm so aching. I can't even remember the last day off we had.
No. Well, you're all right. You get to go on holiday. I still can't. I don't know when my next day off will be. Probably after you get back from holiday.
Yeah, but I'm going away with Olive.
Oh yeah, true.
I'm going away with a woman, and I know what they're like. They're just like, oh, nice, relaxing holiday. Right, we're going to hike 16 miles up that mountain, and then the next day we're going to hike up that mountain, and then up that one. I'm going to be trailing behind, like, oh, this is supposed to be relaxing and enjoyable. But I managed to blag one beach day. So I said, I just want one day where it's all my decisions about everything I want to do. And she said, well, what do you want to do? I said, nothing, absolutely nothing. I want to be on a beach. I want some cocktails, and I just want to switch off everything, every body, muscle, every brain cell in whatever's left with 2 cheeses, and then just bake in the sun and just forget about everything. That will be my day. And I can already see her flinching, like, oh, yeah, we should have time for that. Should have time.
So this is where you're a shit negotiator, because what I would say is I've got an even better idea.
Oh, God.
2 beach days.
2?
Instead of her having to partake in the beach days, she could go and do 2 nice walks. If she finds some nice walks near to the beaches, then that gets you out of 2 walks and it gets you 2 beach days.
Yeah, but she's needy. She'll need me next to her.
She's got Mabel.
She'll be scared of because she watches crime dramas. So of course, every foreigner is
It's a murderer.
it's a murderer.
You're going to murder her and steal the dog. Yeah. Of course, yeah. So we won't be doing a podcast for the next 2 weeks, and then when you get back, we're then going to go and do a video one live from the unit, because the unit's all
we'll make up for it.
all set, and then we'll do a proper one there, little video one. You can do the Hollandaise challenge. We'll do that when you get back.
Yeah, I'm up for that.
You'll see. We'll get a scoreboard on the wall.
I don't want people to get. Problem is, when I did breakfast for quite some time, because we always used to take turns, didn't we? So I managed to get it down to a perfect way of getting it done the fastest time with the least effort. I don't really want to give that away on the first episode, but
no, you can do it with your back turned. We'll just do it. We'll record you from behind.
Oh, okay.
And then you can turn around with the finished product, and then we can show it coming off a
No one will believe me. They'll think I've got a tub of ready mix there.
I'm not going to let you off the hook. Don't worry. I'll be watching, commenting on it.
Oh, okay.
Or commentating. And then I'll do mine the next week and show you how it should be done quickly.
Yeah, well, we're timing it.
Right. And are we timing it from fridge cold butter to finished?
Fridge cold butter to finished. Obviously, in terms of the video, I'll probably cut a bit, because if you're not doing anything, but then I'll have the timer matched up to it though.
Well, how long is it going to take? What you're doing, a 1 block?
Yeah, I'll do a 1 block. I reckon. Look at your stupid face. That smug.
You reckon what? How long for your 1 block?
I reckon I can have it done in 3 minutes.
3? Oh, I'll make a cup of tea and do mine in 3.
Oh, really?
Easy.
Does yours have sugar in your tea?
No.
Mine loves sugar. That's extra work and in the same amount of time.
Right, we'll see.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, have a lovely holiday and enjoy 2 weeks and not having to listen to us. And we'll see you on the other side when I still won't have had a day off.
Still no day off.
No.
It's been months since we've had days off. Okay, so we'll see. You'll hear from us in 2 weeks' time when we're up in the unit and hopefully with the video thing.
Hopefully about it, we'll be there. Video will be on.
All right, video will be done.
Lovely. Right, have a lovely holiday.
Will do. See you in season 2.
Bye.